Hey, what's up? This is ChoseN and gonna be joined by my friend Smiley. How you doing today, Smiley?
I'm doing great. How's it going, Chosen?
Awesome, doing good. I'm excited to have you on the channel. It's been a while, and what we're gonna be doing in this one is just having a casual conversation about updating the offer calculator that we have on our website, talking about where we agree and disagree on some of the pack values and the evolution of spending within Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get into it. Alrighty, Smiley. So, what's been new with you, man? I haven't touched base with you in probably like 2 months or so.
Yeah. I've gotten food poisoning recently. I've been really busy lately, but other than the food poisoning, I think I've been okay. I've been all right.
Oh, geez, yeah. No, I've had that like once before in my life, and it's like something you never forget. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, literally the worst week of my life. It was really bad. But
Well,
anyway,
I'm glad you made it through, and you're here today for the video. So, has anything is there anything like super noteworthy to touch base on first within like maybe the evolution of your thought as far as spending in the last few months, or should we just kind of go through and fine tune the prices?
um, hmm. I guess like the first thing. Well, I guess I'll just go out and say it, but I pretty much do not spend on the game anymore at all,
Okay.
and that's like a mic drop moment, I guess. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Smiley,
there
you
you
were
have
like a
it, guys.
top 5 plat arena, right? Didn't you usually compete in like the top 10 at plat arena or so?
Yeah, yeah, but we're no longer spending. Let's just set it
Oh
that
my
way.
goodness, this would have almost been like a separate topic for a video. What are we doing here? I should have that deserves like a deep dive
Yes, sir.
into why Smiley isn't spending anymore. I didn't know you were gonna drop that on me.
Yeah, maybe we'll save it for another video, maybe.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll touch base and get a deep dive discussion on why Smiley. Well, so like first of all, I've kind of like my spending has kind of gone down a little bit consistently over time. Like when I started out, I was a big whale spending like 600 or 700 a month, which I guess nowadays that's not a big whale. There's people that are just absolute krakens. But back when I started playing Raid, spending $700 a month was a lot. And then I kind of slowly trickled down as I got more and more champions and my account got stronger and stronger. I kind of hit like a macro perspective where I've got strong enough account to just kind of manage and stay the course. So now I spend, I don't know, $100 a month. I buy like the best offers I see, and I'm super picky. And that's kind of been the evolution of my spending. So I tend to grade packs pretty picky, and it was always kind of nice having you with the more like platinum arena perspective to help us kind of find a middle ground when setting this. But we also always set the offer calculator in terms of like Plarium's packs instead of our personal opinion. So did you want to dive in and explain kind of the thought process there?
Yeah, like I guess in the past I've always seen, I mean, before I created or thought of like the way to value the pack offers that I've always like put in my Discord channel and whatnot. Everybody always tends to grade it based off of like what they feel is worth going for. And I kind of try to integrate that into my value as well. But I try to more think along the lines of what do they put out, basically like the market value average, right? Basically what's the going price, what's it usually go for, what does it go for when it's better pricing, and then I kind of just go with the average, and then that's pretty much it. So I don't do that for every single resource in the game, but I do that for most of it. And a lot of the other stuff I try to be as unbiased as possible when it comes to resource. And I do understand there's a lot of different resources that are, I guess, more valuable to certain players than others. And I guess for like people that are really end game, when they look at chickens, when they look at books, when they look at anything along those like XP boosts, like they pretty much see that and it's a cost of zero because it means nothing to them. It doesn't
Yeah.
really help them at all. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like basically just the voice shards and that's basically it. But it's always hard to find like a common ground when it comes to like saying this is a good pack offer when it's average or not. And because like I said, that like end game players, when I put out a price pack offer, uh, at first, like when I joined Mad, like they were kind of poking fun at me because I always involve like the chickens and stuff. They're like, dude, this don't even involve this. What are you doing? But then like I have to include it because everybody always follows my Discord server on their Discord and they follow my particular channel for the pack offers, and I have to be as just involve everybody as much as possible. You know what I mean? So it's just I have to be as fair as possible and also just try to include every single resource, even though I don't want to, but I have to, just for the sake of everybody that might look at a certain resource or not.
Well, yeah, you can't cater something to like a very specific,
Yeah,
2% of
catering, that's the word.
players that are insanely high spenders. So really the only like and obviously also everybody's in a different financial situation. Like for some people, $100 is life changing. And for some people, $100 means nothing and they don't even notice it missing. So that's why it's hard to like structure it in a way where like this is a good offer or this is a bad offer. And really the best way is to just go by, like you said, the average market price within the context of Plarium's game. So even though like for example, we have one sacred shard is $20. Like I would never pay $20 for a sacred shard, but that's like the price that you can tip. That's like the market value within Plarium's packs. So I guess we can just kind of go through and talk about has these evolved at all. And probably the most important one to start with is void shards, I would guess, because that's probably like the thing that people are usually most incentivized to spend for. So right now we've got one void shard at 250, and this has kind of like gone down over the years. I remember it used to be like 325, and then it was 3, and then it was 275, and now it's 250. Do you think we should leave it at 250? So basically it'd be like 10 voids for 25 bucks. Would that be like a average price within Plarium?
I would say I think the voice shard is probably the most constant resource in the game as far as like the value that I have never thought about changing because I mean when we see the void pack offers, like the most expensive ones are like between $3 and like 40 cents or something like that. And then we go as cheap as like $2 or something like that. And then sometimes even lesser than that. But the one pack offer that not everybody's going to get, but every single whale out there is going to get is the void shard for 24 for $60, which is $2.50 per. Now, I never really looked at that and based my, I guess, like the average based off of that, but that's been there for a while now, and I can't help but look at it, right? And I can't help but include that into
Yeah, you're
valuing
saying
and averaging it.
yeah, and we should actually do a deeper dive on that. You're saying that higher spenders unlock a special private void shard offer where it's 24
Yes.
void shards for $60.
Right. But I mean, the thing is like the people that spend more are going to see the more expensive packs, but it's also not going to be the best value because the people that are lower spenders, or I guess the people that don't spend in general, they're going to be seeing the cheaper offers with like the better values to some degree because they're trying to reel you in. They're trying to make you spend so you can get on it, right? So it kind of balances out in that sense. But I still think that 250 for each voice chart is going to be the average is going to be the average deal. But when it comes to the voice shard particularly versus every other resource in the game, even though I put it at an average deal, it's going to be an instant buy for most whales out there because it's so hard to find voice shards for that set price at 250 per because it's always involved in other resources where it includes chickens. Again, like I said, whales don't care about that. It includes other resources whales don't care about. So it's really hard to find that. I guess finding voice shards for a straight up value of $2.50. So when it's available, it's going to be an instant buy for almost every whale out there, instant. But again, I would say that's still the average deal based off of the market value. So that's kind of why I just left
Okay.
it at that.
Cool. Then is there anything else? Like we still got legendary book at 375. That would mean
So
10 legendary books for 3750. Yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead.
I think that's still I still think that's well, I do wanna well, before I'll catch up on or
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
I'll
Yep.
address this first, and then I'll go back to something else real quick. But, the legendary books, I think it's still a fair value for that pricing. Like, there's a lot of people in the past that say, I'm valuing the books too little compared to chickens because there's chickens and books involved in the same pack. And then like when you really it's so hard to find the perfect system. There's no perfect metric out there that'll show you like what's a fair deal or not, but I just have to go based off of what I see. So if I include every single other pack I've seen that includes the legendary books, it's 375 is still like the average deal for that particular resource. And I mean, there was examples that I saved and I forgot I don't remember where I put it, but I saved it because there's people that said like, "Oh, your book value is too low." But then like when I go to other examples, I'm like, "Okay, but then are you saying in this pack offer, are you saying it's too high?" Like, you know what I mean? It's like there was some comparisons that I was gonna show that I've saved up, but I just can't. I don't know where to put it. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, no problem, man. What was the thing you wanted to go back to?
So Sacred Shards. Again, like you said, $20 is the average deal for Sacred Shards. Now, this is another so it's very similar to Void Shard. I would say Sacred Shard is another one that I would separate from the other resources in the game. As far as the average deal for Sacred Shard, I would never ever recommend anybody buying Sacred Shards for anything more than $15 per. Even though the average for Sacred Shard is $20, Sacred Shards are not good value when it comes to pulling. It's just not. You're better off getting Ancient Shards for 2x. It's 2x Sacred Shards. It's not good value, especially if you're paying $20 per or more than that. So I personally would like to pay anywhere between $12.50 or less if it came down to it and I said, okay, this is the deal I would want to go for if it's a Sacred Shard to make it worthy of it. But if it's anything above $15 or anything like that, I just say no, don't buy a Sacred Shard. But based on the average market, Sacred Shard is $20.
And you know why I think that ends up being the case? It's because, so what is it for a guaranteed legendary on Ancients? It's like 220, right?
Yeah.
So that means $264 for a guaranteed Lego. But on Sacreds, what is it, like 60? It's like,
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
it's
Yeah.
something crazy. So you're talking about like over $1,000 to get a guaranteed Lego. On
Well,
your, it's because the Mercy system just isn't good enough on Sacreds. If the Mercy system was better, then the Sacreds might have a little bit more value.
yeah, so I mean, I guess based off of average for $20 and times a 60, then it would be yeah, I mean, it's pretty high up there, 320, right? Or
For Sacreds.
62. Oh no, that's even more. Yeah, you're right. 1,000. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, because like
Yeah,
20
yeah,
Sacred
yeah.
Shards is worth like
Yeah.
$400, but even then you're not guaranteed to get a Lego. I mean, you probably will, but it's just because the
Oh,
Mercies, the reason Sacreds are so bad, it boils down to the Mercy system for Sacreds is just so trash.
so I've seen people go as far as like even like 27, 30 Sacred Shards without hitting a
Yeah.
legendary. And it's like you said, it could go up to like 60 plus or something like that. So it's maybe I don't know if it's 60, but it's up there. It's like maybe 50. I don't know, but it's really crazy.
Yeah, it's something between 50 and 60. I'll maybe try to remember to like have it pop up on the screen, whatever it is, because we do have a sheet for it. But
Mhm.
yeah, like, do we need to adjust books at all? I mean, rare tomes are pretty stable. Epics are going to be pretty stable. It'd be like the legendary tomes. It'd be like, I feel like everything else is gonna be pretty stable. The chicken, like right now, so we have a 5-star chicken and a legendary book being worth about the same.
Similar.
Yeah, yeah. So I would almost think a legendary tome should be worth more, right? But I guess when you break it down to the energy it cost to get to develop like a 3-star champion into a 5-star food, or like it gets kind of tough.
Yes, it's so hard to go so deep into that in that aspect as well, but because like legendary tomes, you mainly get it from clan boss drops, and there's really no other way to get it. But yeah, I mean, I would say legendary books
That's not
are
true. You
way
can pull $300 worth of sacred shards during champ chase events. Come on, Smiley.
yeah, but I mean, it's just it's hard to get the legendary books, but the chickens, legendary tomes are definitely more valuable than chickens. If I'm being like straight up like one to one, legendary books are way more valuable for sure. But when it comes to the pack offers, I just can't help but go based off of that. And it's just like it's always a different a need for different players at certain points. And I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. Like I try to be as unbiased as I can and try to be as fair as possible. But technically, based off of the offer calculator, the legendary tome is more expensive than the 5-star chicken. So
Yeah, and like doing that series that I did where I was coaching two new players on like the Amazon Prime thing with BBXH and Dean, like 5-star chicken are massive for them. It's like it's like more impactful than a legendary book because they can kind of snowball their account and develop their champions to 6-star faster and unlock masteries, and they were just like, oh, like every time they got a chicken they were like, oh, this is crazy, like I need it. So you're right, the game evolves so differently from somebody like their first 3 months to somebody who's been playing for 3 years.
right,
Then,
exactly.
then like another super important one to talk about would be, now we have a little bit more of an understanding about the blessings. Now that the game, like back when we last touched base on this, the blessings and the soul stones and all that were very new. So
Yes.
right now we've got a mortal for $1.25, and mortals, they typically end up being as similar to ancient shards. Oh, I can tell you want to talk. Go ahead.
So this is the change we're gonna be doing now for this the upper
Uh-oh.
calculator.
Sirens are going off. Smiley's ready.
Now, there's been a lot more Soulstone offers that come up because, like, you know, how for a while I said, let's just because you kept asking me, are we gonna are we gonna edit and update the offers for the Soulstones? And I kept saying, just wait. We gotta see more pack offers. We're not ready to jump into it yet because because like I don't like to drop the value on something and then go back from what I said. You know what I mean? Like I try to keep it as consistent as possible. And if I go back and forth, it's gonna, it's tough. So once I'm sure, that's when I want to drop it. But that's not to say I'll ever not increase anything if it comes down to it. But it's rarely the case. But for the Mortal Soulstone, I'm going to say that the average market deal for that is now $1. That's going to be the
Yep.
fair price for Mortal Soulstones. It's not $1.25 anymore.
Yep. Well, because before, like back when we did this, we had never seen Plarium do those offers that they do, where they do like the half price, where
Yeah,
they'll do like 20 soul stones for $10.
right.
And that's like, if you're ever going to spend on blessings, like that's when you do it. So I agree that this should go to like a 1 or a 0.9 on the mortals. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Then let me adjust that. So right now, should we start with 1?
yeah, one.
Okay.
So
Mortals are
now
now a
now
1.
now this is something that can keep dropping like as
Yep.
further we go along. But I think it's fair to say that's about where it's at right now.
Okay. And then what about immortals? Right now we've got them at 750.
So Immortals are I want to drop it a little bit more, but I can't because the average is still around $7.50.
Did we see
That's pretty,
them? Did we see them do the special packs for immortals?
they've
And
yeah,
okay.
they've done a lot of special
Well, then we
Immortal
have
packs.
to drop it to like
Well, but the
650 or
thing is
something.
they still put out really crappy offers with new pack offers that where make the Immortals worth $10 each and something like that. So it's just like it's it's not I can't say just yet I would put it at 7 or um less than 750, but
Not even 7. Come on, work with me here, Smiley.
hold on, let me just see one
Because
thing
they
because
did at least okay, like for you viewers out there, this is what it sounds like when we're working on these packs privately. But I figured, why not just record it and we'll do a video. But so I think it should be like 6.8 or 7, because we have at least seen them do lower offers, you know.
yeah. Um here's my thing though. The lower offers that we've seen is very rare still, I would say, because it was during the whole like 4th anniversary thing where they were just
Yeah, true. Yeah,
sending out
yeah.
like crazy value stuff. So I that's why I can't say just yet. But the Mortal Soulstones, I'm very firm. Like $1, I think that's the average ratio. And the Immortal, so there's just one thing I wanted to check. So 781, 631, 632. The most telling thing for me is going to be the string packs because the string packs are usually the best um outside of the silver, outside of the energy. The silver string or the string packs are usually like the better deals, at the very least average. And this mixed soulstone pack we see pretty often, it's going to be like at the very least that's what it's worth. And I still want to say it's a decent deal for people that are interested in looking for soulstones, and that's where they average at 632 per. So I still would say 750 would be fair based off of like the recent ones we've seen. And there's another one that we have for like 10 per, but I think maybe 7 would be fair. I think 7 would be, yeah, I think 7 would be okay. Okay.
Yep. Okay, I agree. Let's put it at
So
7.
so it'll still fall under the same I guess whatever like when I say above average or below average, it still falls under that category. So I think it's okay. But I think 7 would be the fair deal for Immortal Soulstones now. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I do talk with other people in my clan as well, and these are people that are the mega spenders, right? So they kind of have an idea and what they would like to spend on and what they don't want to spend on. So and they're actually the one that convinced me to revalue the value for whatever what am I saying, readjust my values for the how I break down the soulstones and whatnot. So that's kind of why I pushed into that direction. But I think 7 would be fair. Yeah, 7 is good.
Okay, cool. And then the last one obviously is the Eternals. We've got them at 30. Now, have we ever seen Plarium lower those to like 15, 20 or anything, or are they stable at 30?
So we originally had this at 35, I think, right? Or do we have it at 30?
I think it's always been 30, but maybe.
Okay, so we did have the 30. So the average before was 35 when they were first launching it, and I right now at the moment the Eternal Soulstones, we don't have too many pack offers on them. We had maybe like 5 or 6 that came out so far, and the average for that is 28.
Okay, so let's lower it to 26.
Mm, we'll meet in the middle at 27.
I was trolling you. I was assuming you would just immediately say no. But
I was thinking about it.
because
You know what, 28.
I like to lean towards being more picky, just in general. So I want the values
Yeah.
to be as low as possible. And then Smiley hangs out with all these mega Kraken whales, and he and he wants it to just be like the straight up in game average. So it's a good compromise. Okay, so yeah, you think like 28 then?
Yeah, 28.
Okay, cool. 28 we will go with on Eternals. Are there any other ones that are in need of an adjustment, just kind of as an overarching theme of analysis?
I don't think anything else really changed.
Yeah, everything else is kind of just stable stuff over the course of a few years.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that would change. I mean, tag arena refills, we've got them at 20 cents. Arena, we got it 50 cents. Yeah, I agree with that. The tag arena are a lot less valuable. It's a lot harder to farm. XP barrels, have they dropped at all? 220. I feel like that's low, if anything. Yeah, so 220, that doesn't need to be adjusted on the barrel. The feast would be the big one. That's the big daddy. Yeah, that's the $20. But that's a lot of energy and a lot of development. So
Yeah. It's it's tough because I guess people when they look at it, they might say, "Well, that's so expensive. $20 for a feast is an average." But you got to think about it. It's just a lot of 5-star chickens in that feast, and it's saving you all the silver from there. It's saving you all the ranking up from the other champions in there. It's just like it kind of just boils down to it that way.
yep, yep. Okay, then I think we're yeah, let's see. The XP days of 75 cents. I almost think that's low, if anything. I'd almost go like 0.85 on a day of
Wait,
XP.
the XP bonus.
Yeah. I'd almost go like 0.85.
All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you, okay?
Give it to me, Smiley. All right, I'm
All right.
ready.
You know how I said I try to be as unbiased as possible when it comes to these
Uh-oh.
researches? The XP bonus is the only one where I kind of just push in the direction of this is garbage. Like I just want to give it as
What?
crappy value as possible because you don't need to buy this ever. Like I have a free to play account and I've never had a reason to buy it because every
Everyone
time
says this to me, and like my XP bonus is at 1 week right now.
1 week,
Yeah.
mine's usually empty. But then when there's a champ training,
But that's
when
what
I
I
actually
mean.
need
So
to use
if
it,
it's
then
empty,
we're
that means you
good.
need it.
No. You only need to
And
need
the
it when you need
XP
to use it.
banners are god tier for new players.
But how often are you doing champ training? Like, are you going
Well,
to be
new
leveling
players are
champions
always
through?
doing it. New players always like people that haven't finished Faction Wars yet. They've always got champions they've got to build and develop, and they've got to build. I mean, 5 champions times all of these factions plus champions they replace. So each person probably levels up an average of like 8 champions per faction. Like
I I agree with you,
plus your
but
18 Hydra champions and everything. Come on, Smiley.
I agree with you, but the thing is, new players they get hit with a ton of free XP bonuses in the beginning. Like I'm talking like 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of them, and then from there you're pretty much good because like every week you get one, and then every from the advanced quest you get another. Was it advanced quest? You get another 3 you can hold on to, and then from the promotional like the free promos that we get every single time for the promo codes, then we get another one in there somewhere. It's just like they just find a way to always be available when you need it. And I've never had to ever buy it on my free to play account for champ training particularly because I always try to save up my XP bonuses for that moment. So I'll never pop the one that I've saved up in my advanced quest that's sitting there at the first stage, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. I just if anybody buys that, there's something wrong with you.
Jeez, the hot takes. Okay. I guess we'll leave it at 0.75 then. Smiley wants me to put it at 0. But Yeah, I guess not everybody wastes 2 years of XP banners like me. So maybe that's why my perspective has always been skewed in the XP banners. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Dude, so I thought XP banners in your inbox, that when they expire, they automatically get added into your pool, but they don't.
Oh,
So
jeez.
this whole time, this like 4 years I've been playing Raid and letting my XP banners expire, they were all just disappearing into the ether. so, so I was always sitting here doing my videos like, XP banners are so valuable because I'm always broke. I never have XP banners. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? I have like 14 weeks permanently on my XP banners. And I'm like, what? And so finally I looked into why this was happening, and I literally wasted like over 100 weeks of XP banners. I just let them all expire.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I know. But this is why we have different perspectives for the offer calculator. Okay, cool. Then is anything else? Is everything else good then?
I want to put you on the spot now since you brought this up. Okay, so have you ever bought the XP bonus from the shop?
Absolutely. When I was a new player, absolutely.
I mean that's a long time ago when it was a little different and we didn't get all this extra
I'm
stuff.
talking like 2019.
I'm talking about like
yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about recently. Like, have you ever bought from the shop with your gems? Have you ever bought the XP bonus?
I don't. Maybe once, if ever. Yeah.
There you go.
But that's the gems. I'm talking about. It's a nice little sweetener in an offer. You know, it's like, I mean, it's 75 cents. I'm not saying it's $5. It's just a nice little sweetener. It's like, oh, and my XP that's got 1 week left, I can bump that up to, you know, a little bit more consistent. That's all. It's a sweetener. It's a kicker.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys.
It's a kicker. All right, that's okay. But yes, you're right. Technically, I have never bought it with the gems. Like, they have like the 3-day pack for like $270 or something, right?
It's too expensive.
Gem pack, $280. Yeah, $280 for 3 days. Because I remember when I was a new player, like doing all the math, and I mean, but like when you're a new player, it essentially doubles your energy. Like, it's a pretty big deal when you're actually in the campaign a lot.
If only they upped the energy count and gave us more energy to work with, you know. But that's a story for another day.
That's a different video. So now we got 2 videos in the queue we got to do, Smiley. All right. Well, does that do it? We adjusted a few things here. I think we adjusted about 4, 5, 6 things, something like that. Everything else is good though on the calculator for now.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will link to Smiley's channel down below. Definitely check out his stuff. He's always doing a good job over there. And thanks for your help on the offer calculator, man. I appreciate your input.
Always a pleasure.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, have a good one, man.